This week, Extreme Skyflyer, the upcharged sky coaster in Action Zone, was quietly removed from the Kings Island app and website, and removal of the ride is rumored to have already begun. The removal of rides from Six Flags leadership has reached the front doorstep for Kings Island fans, and has us all wondering, what rides are next? I've heard many rumors, and I have my own theories on which rides are to leave Kings Island next. Let's start with the most likely ride removal, Invertigo. Cedar Fair blamed the removal of many beloved attractions on low ridership numbers like Wicked Twister at Cedar Point and Vortex at Kings Island. Invertigo is one of the least popular rides in the park, and it only has one train, so it will never have a high ridership number. Invertigo has been very prone to extended downtime and maintenance issues in recent years. Kings Island actually had Vekoma come out to the park to replace a part on the ride that was causing downtime. The ride experience itself was never too pleasant or enjoyable for most guests either. The bulky restraints create an uncomfortable ride, and the coaster itself is sometimes too intense for most park guests. This is why you rarely see Invertigo with a line more than 5 minutes long. The next most likely ride to leave is Congo Falls. Congo Falls is a flume ride built by Intamin, also located in Action Zone. Congo Falls is a seasonal attraction, meaning it opens late into the park season and closes for the season early. Even when Congo Falls is open, it doesn't seem to draw any crowds. It could be a hot summer day at the park, but Congo Falls is always a walk-on. I believe that Congo Falls is likely to have one of the lowest ridership numbers in the whole park. And it's some key real estate at the front of the park that's wasted on a ride that's closed most of the season. Next on the list is Drop Tower. Drop Tower is you guessed it, Drop Tower by Intamin, and is located in Action Zone. Drop Tower is the tallest ride in the park at 315 feet tall. Being one of the scariest and most intense rides in the park, Drop Tower never sees much of a line either. That is, when it's running anyways. Lately, it's a 50-50 chance whether the ride will be running during your visit. When it is down, it's down for weeks at a time. I can only assume that this ride has severe maintenance problems. Again, this is another ride with low ridership and severe maintenance issues. I would not be surprised if Drop Tower is removed soon. There was recently a rumor going around that the Bat was the next ride to leave. Personally, I don't buy it. This is an old aero coaster that seems to be pretty reliable. I think this ride is closed due to staffing more often than it's closed for maintenance. The Bat is located far back in the park behind Action Zone, so there often aren't many crowds back there, and it doesn't have much of a line, but the ridership is still better than Invertigo, Congo Falls, and Drop Tower. The Bat takes up a large plot of land and is beyond the end of its service life, so I could definitely see a case for the Bat being removed, but I don't think it's the most likely. Next is Flight of Fear. I think this is the least likely ride to be removed from Kings Island, but there's still a case to be made. First of all, this ride opened all the way back in 1996. It was the first ride in the world to use a LIM launch. It uses an older technology that's slowly become outdated over the years. It draws significantly more power than newer LSM launch coasters from the same manufacturer. Flight of Fear seems to be a pretty reliable attraction though. It's open every time I'm at the park and is one of the few attractions that is indoors and operates during poor weather and Winterfest. The operations at Flight of Fear aren't the best, so the line is often long, often around a 90-minute wait, but that means that it has a pretty high ridership number. I could see the park wanting an attraction there with higher capacity so the guests aren't waiting over 90 minutes every day for Flight of Fear, but I think it'll still be around for a while. Finally, we have Backlot Stunt Coaster. This attraction also uses older LIM technology and has awful capacity. Backlot always has a line, often between 45 minutes and 90 minutes, but I blame that on the low capacity and poor operations rather than high ridership. Backlot takes up a huge plot of land, right next to the Vortex plot, and doesn't utilize all of it. This is a very dated attraction from the Paramount days of the park, and the effects on the ride don't even seem to work half of the time. The ride itself is okay at best, but I don't think it's a good representation of what Kings Island has to offer. The park should prioritize high-quality rides and experiences rather than subpar rides with 90-minute waits. There are clones of this attraction at Canada's Wonderland and King's Dominion, so if the one at Kings Island was removed, nothing of value would be lost. I don't think we'll see Backlot closed this season or next season, but I wouldn't be surprised if this ride kicks the bucket in the next 5 to 10 years. With the removal of Extreme Skyflyer, I think it's clear that the park has big plans for Action Zone. I think the rides in Action Zone are the most likely candidates to be removed and replaced, but I don't think that the others are too far behind. All of this is purely speculation, but I think my reasoning is still pretty sound. Let me know what you think about my ride removal theories and which ones you think will be removed next down in the comments below. Like always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.